Hello, I am Cithryth, and welcome to this indie checkup with the game Crest by Eat, Create, Sleep. This is a indie god game that is currently in development. This is a prototype, and it's really interesting. Like, obviously this is just a prototype, so like with my other indie checkups, this is just really basic gameplay right now. But this is a very interesting god game. Like most god games, you know, you can monitor the happiness and how much food and the population of a given tribe, or tribes in this case. As you can see in the upper right, we've got the Shrub clan, the Aloe clan, and the Bonobos clan. This is a little tribal area. Each of the little rings is a like tribe area. But the really interesting thing about this game is how you influence your people. Rather than a lot of god games you have control creatures, or like specific, like you put the resources down with your own hands or whatever. But with this, you're mostly influencing the people with words, and specifically with commandments. Now, before I get into the commandments, each tribe, as you can see, each of these tribes has three things at the top. There's binaries for each of these three things. So this clan, the Shrub clan, is high progressive, and whereas the Aloe clan is average conservative. So the binary here is progressive and conservative. So progressives will change and reword commandments more easily. They're more willing to move out of this tribal unit area thing and forge new tribal unit area things. The next one is fertility and chastity. So this Shrub clan, again, has high fertility, whereas this Aloe clan has high chastity. Tribes with chastity have, they work more, but they don't reproduce as much, whereas fertility, obviously, they're going to reproduce more. And the final one is greed versus goodwill. Tribes with more goodwill share their food. Tribes with greed keep the food to themselves. Now, as you can see, one of the tribes just died off, so that happens. Basically, you have to look out for these guys and use commandments to kind of guide them in the direction that you think they should go, because based on these different characteristics, they're going to do different things. So this Shrub clan died. Okay, this is not going so well. This is a very fast-paced god game. A lot of god games, you can just kind of sit, let them do their thing. Not Crest. Crest, you're going to have to actively monitor. So these guys are not reproducing right now. So what we're going to do is add a commandment. So you have to have, it's very action-oriented. So if you have average conservative, so this clan is an average conservative clan, because we need more people here. Let's give them average fertility. So now, in theory, if they go along with that, they should switch from high chastity to average fertility. There we go. The commandment took place, and now they have average fertility. Now they're reproducing more. That's good. The downside to this, though, is that now that they're not working as much, they're starting to run out of food. So we kind of have to balance this out. So let's say if you have average fertility, you have low greed. So they don't just keep all the food for themselves, they kind of share it more. Hopefully that works. This game is going to take a lot of trial and error. There's going to be a lot of deaths involved with this game. But that's okay, I think. This is a much more fast-paced god game, and if I wanted to, I could actually speed this up, but since I'm already down to like one tribe, I kind of don't want to. But maybe once this little tribe dies off, maybe, you know, I'll start up another game and we'll see how it goes. So I think this game has a lot of potential. It's really interesting that you can shape these commandments. Now, you can't see it because this one clan that I have left is conservative, so obviously they're not, since they're conservative, they are not going to be changing the commandments as much. But if you have a clan, tribe, whatever, with really high progressive characteristic, the commandments can change rapidly, and sometimes they can change very badly. Alright, so yeah, the tribe died off, so let me start a new one. Alright, here we go. Here's a new one. So we've got two with low progressive and one with high conservative. Let's do this. Let's have people with low progressive have... Let's tell them to have low chastity, and we'll see how that goes. And how about we also tell them, if you have low progressive, you'd have low greed. Because that way people keep a little bit of food for themselves, but it's not too bad. So we'll see how that goes. As you can see, there's people here. They're not. It's not a simulation kind of god game, like most games are. This is more of a These people are symbolic. So, for example, if you look at the tribal spheres or circles or whatever, there's 3 little people on 3 little pedestals. Those represent the different characteristics. So you can tell that this clan over here on the right, or on the left, sorry, is the Hadida clan, because they've got this really big guy, which represents the high conservative. Whereas the Springhair clan is probably this one up to the north, because they're all little, and they have low progressive, low conservative, and low greed. So that's probably that. Now, I haven't figured out what the people working, like, what their size represents. Not 100% sure about that yet. I think it represents how much they work, because 2 of the clans have a lot of work going on, as you can see on these little measurements up there, while as this clan is smaller and the worker is smaller. Not sure, though. And then finally, these people with the purple hats that this guy is kind of standing over, but people with the purple hats come out every so often, and they're changing the commandments. So as you can see now, we're taking a look at the commandments, and now they've changed it so if you have any progressive, you shall only work. So that's kind of terrible. I don't want them to only work. And the other one has changed to, if you have progressive, you shall not share your food. That's also pretty terrible and not what I told them to do. But they're progressive, and so they have a higher rate of change. It's kind of the thing you have to deal with, and you have to be adding new commandments a lot and balancing things out. So, yeah, it's interesting. So they're building a lot of farms because they have a lot of work ethic, because they're all very chaste, I guess, and so they're just spending all the time working. And it's not great. Their population is pretty small. They do not reproduce at all, so they're probably going to die soon. And as you can see, there's, you know, the happiness is lowering. I'm hoping we can change. If you have low progressive, let's give them low fertility. Oh, and look, a new clan came in. That's cool. Another really cool thing about this game that I really appreciate the developers doing is that they have specifically made it so that gender is not a thing. As you might be able to tell looking at the workers walking around, that some of them are physically male or physically female, but there's like no gender. All of, like, males and females can do all of the different roles. So I really appreciate that, because yeah, it's more inclusive than just having all the workers be default male, or the priest or whatever purple hat people are supposed to be females or whatever. So yay, inclusivity. And let's see how the things are doing. Okay, so the new one hasn't changed that much. The first 2 are still around. Eventually the commandments will kind of go away. So we can only hope that they go away quickly, because it's not great. So every time you play, you get this kind of randomly generated, kind of rectangular-ish land in various rectangular-y shapes. I'm hoping that they kind of diversify the landscape a bit more, add different kinds of regions maybe, make it not quite so geometric, I don't know. I guess, you know, make it less squarish, rectangle-ish. But we'll see. Again, this is just a prototype, so I'm assuming that they're going to be doing quite a bit of change. They have an Indiegogo campaign going on, which I recommend you donate to if you're into that kind of thing. Because I definitely think this game has a lot of potential. Because this commandment thing is really interesting, and it's a really interesting and unique way to go about the God game thing. Because even though it's like, oh, I'm just giving them commandments, despite that, this is a much more actively involved God game than other God games I've played, like Roost or the Black and White series, for example. So I think that's about it. To close this off, I'm going to try this whole speed up process, and you can see them kind of rush around like crazy, and we'll see how these tribes go. They're dying off pretty quick, so I don't think they're going to do too well. But yeah, they're going to die soon. Hadida clan's going to die soon. Sheikah's clan's doing okay. Oh, new clan. I'm gonna go ahead and bump this up all the way to 10. Down to 2 clans. Who will be the last clan? Who knows? But yeah, so thanks for watching. This was an indie checkup on the game Crest. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you around the internet.